possibility of successfully navigating an asteroid field is approximately 3,720 to 1.
Never tell me the odds.
Hello and welcome to the Contingency Plan Podcast. This is another flying solo podcast, another Star Wars Power half hour with Jedi Master David. Darth Austin is unfortunately unavailable again, still working all the OT in the entire world. He is more than likely a millionaire now, but we'll look forward to having him back as soon as he can get back on the show. So again, flying solo, our power half hours have they've been a little over a half hour, so we'll kind of see. We'll see if I can stick to the plan today. But I do have a couple things I figured we'd go over. Some Star Wars news and a pretty darn cool new comic, Age of Resistance, dropped its first issue, the 3rd. So this is, I'm recording this Sunday, July 7th. So it's been a couple days since I picked that up. So that was really cool. We'll talk about that here in a few. But let's go ahead and just talk about my day. You know, what did I do today? What did a lone Jedi just out there in the galaxy do? Well, he went and saw Spider-Man, the new Spider-Man movie. Wow. So I've never been a Spider-Man fan. Like, well, to be honest with you, I'm not much of a superhero fan. That's not to say I don't have a few that I like or that I didn't watch it as a kid, but I was never really a comic book person. And I can I can get into this too for the Age of Resistance. I always found comics to be too short, but there were a couple of really good cartoons when I was a kid. We had Batman, really the classic Batman, in my opinion. X-Men. Really enjoyed the X-Men. You know, had some other, Marvel and DC related kind of stuff, but really Batman, X-Men were really what I watched. Now, you say, hey man, you don't like Spider-Man. Are you not American? I mean, who do you even like? Well, I was a fan of two heroes. And those two were Batman and Iron Man. So this is just my own opinion, but I always thought of it like this. And well, to be honest with you, I actually didn't figure this out until many years later. And then I started thinking about it. It's like, you know what? I think I realized why I like these two characters over all the other OP folks out there. And part of my thing is that so Iron Man and Batman are similar when you think about it. They're both men. They both have a superior intellect. Obviously they have combat training, all that good stuff. But they use their minds to outwit their enemies, whether that's by creating advanced technology to aid the said human being or, just being a really super smart detective. And I always looked at that and I was like, you know what? I really don't want some ultra-powered, superhuman, whatever, alien or so on and so forth to just save me. No, I want to be able to save myself. I always related to the characters that were more human. So what about Hawkeye? No, I'm good. Although I will say I am interested to see what they do with, I'm blanking on her name. Scarlett Johansson's character, Black Widow movie. I've actually been saying that there should have been a Black Widow movie a long time ago. And I do believe that they're actually developing that, or if they're not already doing it. But, sometimes I get really enamored with who acts out the character. Sometimes makes it better for me. And I think a lot of people can probably say that about Iron Man with Robert Downey Jr. So anyway, big Iron Man fan, big Batman fan when I was a little kid. And obviously I love the X-Men. Well, they're not humans. They're inhumans or mutants or metamorphs or gifteds or whatever you want to call them, depending on copyright laws. yeah, I mean, I like the X-Men because I just thought the show was super cool, and my favorite X-Men was Gambit. He was just cool. He threw, like plasma cards at you, and he had a giant staff to whack you with. Come on. And Rogue. I liked Rogue too. So anyway, went to see Spider-Man, and like I said, not a huge fan. And I think a lot of it was just the actors. I didn't really like Tobey Maguire, and those came out in the early 2000s, and I remember the first one, him just being a mega dork. I think the second one was with Doc Ock, blah, blah, blah. If I'm remembering that correctly, and I really like the actor who played the villain. And this was actually a revelation I had when I was thinking about this on my way home from the movie. I actually like the people who played the villains more in that original, that Tobey Maguire series of movies than I did the actor playing Spider-Man. So, man, I don't know. It's hard. It's hard for me because it made it difficult, and I don't want to rewatch them. And I didn't watch, what was it, The Amazing Spider-Man, I think was the next like reboot. I haven't watched those, and I am curious to watch them, but I just never have. But what really turned me on was this, what is his name? Tom Holland, or probably should have looked that up. But I will try and look up his name real quick here if I can. Oh, for Pete's sake. Yeah, Tom Holland. Okay, see, I remember things. I saw him in the Avengers capacity, and I was like, I like this kid. I like him a lot. I actually think he makes a really good Spider-Man. And, I mean, he's in his 20s playing 16 or whatever, but I don't know. I really like it. I like him as a character, and funny enough, I like the supporting actors and actresses. The girl who plays MJ, really good, and his buddy, his buddy that knows the secret, also really awesome. And I didn't watch the first one, so I actually have to go back and watch the first one with Holland in it. But again, I saw him in the Avengers. I was like, oh wow, this kid's cool. I like this. I like this a lot. So was really excited to see the movie. I'm not going to do any spoilers here. No spoilers. But I think that this movie was really, really good. I really enjoyed the movie on the whole. I think I read that it broke Endgame's like opening weekend record, which is saying something. It's really saying something. So yeah, really enjoyed Spider-Man. Really happy I got to go see that. So let's get on with Star Wars, because I know somebody's out there screaming, you're not talking about Star Wars. Where's the Darth, man? He's got to keep me in line. So let's go ahead and go over a little bit of news in the Star Wars universe. So first article, I caught this. So apparently some fans were, we got some fireworks going off. Oh, it's almost Monday, guys. Get them out while you can. So anyway, there was an article I read where apparently some fans were complaining about something in the new Jedi Fallen Order game. And I guess it was the brightness or the color of Cal's lightsaber. My God. We need a perfect game. Perfect. So apparently Respawn has gone back and apparently re-rendered or redesigned the lightsabers, color / intensity / brightness. So that's, I love the attention to detail. As Star Wars fans, I think that's one of the big things that we look for, is that attention to detail, those little Easter eggs that just make us happy. So that's something, hey, Respawn wants to do the game right. I'm down with it. But the gameplay had me hooked on buying it. Next article I read, a little interview with a certain nobody from nowhere, Daisy Ridley. So Daisy Ridley the title of the article, obviously we always get clickbait, and it was basically like, Daisy's like responding to the backlash from Last Jedi. And she said, essentially she's not surprised by the backlash. And it was very kind of apropos, very diplomatic, she understands why, but like, Ryan Johnson's an artist or, whatever, and, so on and so forth. So I get it. And there is a lot of backlash. And it's funny because this article came at like the right time because I like just did a rewatch of Last Jedi, and I haven't watched Last Jedi in a while. I wasn't the biggest fan of it. I didn't hate it, but I wasn't the biggest fan of that movie. But now going back and rewatching it, I actually started picking out some details that I kind of missed on my first rewatch. And I think here pretty soon we need to do an episode 9 speculation so I can drop some of the things that I was thinking about as I was rewatching. But there's a lot of backlash. There was a lot of backlash. There's always going to be a lot of backlash for that movie. But, I think it will hold. I think it will actually be able to hold its value as we get further and further down the Star Wars line. So a couple other questions. So one of them was about Rey's parents. Now she says, by the end of this movie, you will know who Rey's parents are. So that's great. That's kind of a big thing because, Kylo, he goes, he says, oh, they're nobody. They're drunk traders, drunks, they're dead in some unmarked grave, whatever. So obviously we all think that there's more to it than that. And it's probably going to be more, but that will be answered. So really good information there. Now, the last thing I did write down here was, what's the difference? I don't remember the exact question. I should have probably just pulled that up. But anyway, so Ridley basically said, this movie is going to be different from the other two. And she describes it as kids going on an adventure. So I have a lot of opinions on how trilogies should feel. And I always look at it like this. The first movie should be your adventure, your setup. So this is basically the core. Movie 2 is where you explain all the backstory and get that out of the way while trying to add a major antagonist that you have to defeat and why you have to defeat the antagonist. And then the third movie should be all about defeating the antagonist. Okay, it's the sprint to the finish. That second, and this is what this is the core of why people are so angry about Last Jedi. And maybe some people don't even realize this, but the whole thing is the second movie is your setup movie. That's what a trilogy is. You have your fastball first pitch to get you interested. Then you have, some interesting like curveball or split. I've been doing some baseball analogies here recently, haven't I? Been watching too much baseball. But it's kind of like a curve, but there's some answers there. You've seen the pitcher's pitches. My God, they are really shooting off some fireworks. Somebody's got some stuff going. Yeah, you probably can't hear that these mics don't pick up a lot of the ambient sound. But anyway, if you hear some loud bangs, I'm not getting shot or anything. So anyway, second movie, it's your answer. And then your third movie is just fastball. I'm just trying to throw everything at it. Just bang, 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 sprint to finish. This is your strikeout pitch. So anyway, I'll be interested to see kind of how that is. But yeah, it did kind of look like more like, Poe, Finn, Rey going on an adventure, which is cool. I just feel like that maybe shouldn't have been the third movie. Maybe we'll get a part 1, part 2. You never know. Anyway, so that's kind of Star Wars news here. I'm interested to see what else we have here, but we still got a ways to go. We will get there together. We'll all get there, but the days are counting down. The days are definitely counting down, but we have several months to go. Episode 9 is going to be epic, and we've got a lot of other stuff to talk about in between that time. Most notably, I already talked a little bit about Alphabet Squadron. So we got that book last month. This month, it's not dropped yet, but Thrawn, the third Thrawn novel, will be out. I actually didn't read the Thrawn novels. I just finished the first one, and I'm going to move on to the second one and then hit that third one here pretty quick so I can get sort of caught up. But yeah, Thrawn will be out here pretty soon too. So we've got a lot of reading, lots of reading. So let's talk about Age of Resistance. So Age of Resistance comic series, Marvel. So I knew it was coming out, but I don't even know what tipped me off that it was now officially out. But I was like, oh, yeah, it's time. And we have, I think, 3 issues dropping this month here in a couple days on the 10th. The second one, which I believe is Phasma, is coming out. So I'm actually pretty excited about a couple of these. So we have Finn. Now, the first issue that we'll talk about a little bit here is Finn. We have Phasma. We have what's called the Special, but that one's going to be apparently going over Holdo and Maz. So that one could be interesting. We already know a little bit about Holdo and sort of where she fits into this, and obviously we saw her end in Last Jedi. But Maz is a character I think we could expound upon a little bit more, so that should be interesting. We're going to have an issue on Poe, which, okay, fine. Rose, which, yeah, sure, okay, fine. Hux, which, sure. My goodness, they are really going off. Hux, maybe some more. Okay, yeah, that could be interesting depending on how they write it. Rey, which could be quite interesting. Rey going on some adventures, maybe. I don't know. Or, I don't want to spoil everything, but like, maybe it's some adventures on Jakku, or maybe it's adventures just outside of that, after she learns from Luke. So that one could be a wild card. I'm very interested to see how that one goes out. Now, these next 2 are really the ones I'm looking forward to. So we've got Snoke and we've got Kylo. So there's a lot of speculation about Snoke. Is this him showing up? Is this him turning Kylo? Is this some dealings with Luke and the Solos? There really is a lot to this that it could be. And like Snoke was a character that was built up pretty heavily in Force Awakens and then really just dumped on in Last Jedi. Although I do have a theory about that now after my last rewatch, and I'm really going to hash that out at a later time. But then the next one, Kylo, I want to know what time frame this is. Is this going to be a time frame when he was, say, a Padawan under Luke? Well, not really Padawan, but like a student. I don't think Luke really went back to the whole Padawan thing, but a student? Or is this I don't know, him burning down the temple or taking some students, Knights of Ren, or like a mission, or being turned by Snoke, or I don't know. But I'm really interested to see what that one's going to be. My God, they really are shooting off a lot of fireworks. This is like a residential area, man. Wow, we're not even out in the country. That's crazy. But anyway, so there's quite a few comics. I'm very, very interested to see what we have going on. And we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So let's go ahead and talk about Finn, the comic Finn. So this is a nice little short, kind of sweet story. While Finn is a stormtrooper, and the art's really, really cool. So I can probably just run through this entire thing. Again, comics are short. So we start off our first panel, Star Killer Base. Prepare for annihilation. We cannot withstand this awesome power. Fear. Fear my mop. So we've got Finn and Finn's little maintenance buddy, FN 3761. They're out in a corridor. They're cleaning. FN 3761's, he's got a little like space sweeper, and apparently in space you still have to use a manual mop, which is very interesting. So anyway, 376, what? I'm destroying grime. I don't think we're allowed to enjoy this, FN 2187. Whoa, what is it? Kylo Ren, he's coming this way. And then Finn, what do I do, FN 3761? Huh? The mop. Do I hold it or attention? And then, so Finn is, he's holding this mop basically like a rifle, and it's like dripping on his uniform, and like just Kylo just stares at him and then walks away. And then here comes Captain Phasma. She makes a little bit of an appearance here. Is a mop a standard issue blaster? No. So put it down. And then she says, we have a situation. A construction unit encountered a blockage while building a flood chamber. The two of you are to report to Deck 9. To join the cleaning crew? So they happen in upon this room of stormtroopers. We've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 males and a couple female stormtroopers. And again, like, you know, our first order troopers here, you know, they're not the clones anymore. They were basically, you know, people stolen. So you have more of a diversity of female and male and of different ethnicities, and, you know, just it's just a lot different. So anyway, we have our, I don't know if they ever did say his rank. We'll just call him Captain for now. Said, suit up. This is a cleaning crew, Finn says. What kind of blockage is this, Captain? Yeah, there he goes. It's more of an infestation. That doesn't sound so bad, Finn says. The infestation already ate 2 people. What are we dealing with? We're not sure. We haven't been able to get anything coherent out of the only survivor. You're welcome to try. And then they come in on this guy. He's got a slash across his face. Hey, can you tell us what's down there? Screams in the dark. Fury. That's not as descriptive as you may think. Rage. Again, could you be a little bit more specific? Is the fury and rage like this tall or... Time to go. The rage. Yeah? It has teeth. Okay, so they go down to one of the lower decks. The power's out. We're going to be in the dark. Sounds about right. Why don't you just fill this thing with explosives? Because FN3761, this tunnel is worth a lot more to the First Order than you are. Buckets on. Keep your eyes peeled. And then there's this like screech. Let's see. Well, during the screech, one of the troopers takes his helmet off and gets decapitated. Oh my goodness, he gets decapitated. So they're these bat-looking things, and they have flamethrowers. So they're basically just, you know, flaming them. You know, just getting a little flamey, just burning them. Well, let's see, what is this? I believe this was the captain actually gets like, oh, Captain Bray. There we go. So Captain Bray, this is kind of funny. So you have all your troopers, and they're just designated numbers. But we have a couple of the officers with names, obviously Phasma, and the captain here is Bray. So let's see, and one of the bat creatures attacks the captain, and Finn eradicates him. It was kind of funny because so the creatures got a hold of him. FN 2187, what are you doing? What are you? And then boom, cough break. So basically, he just I don't know how to say that word. He just spreads hellfire all over everything. And basically, the captain's in the fire, but a little bit later, Finn does say, it's like I knew that the armor would protect you; it wouldn't cook you. But the captain's obviously not very happy about that. Let's see. So they're basically at this point done. So that's the last of them, Captain. Okay, let's get out of here. Not you, FN 2187. You're on disposal. Get a trash skiff in here and clean up. Is this because I set you on fire? You're in heat-resistant armor. I was pretty sure you weren't going to be cooked. Finn. You think this job is beneath you, FN 2187? What? No, that's not what I was. If it serves the First Order, nothing is beneath you. You want to be on waste protection instead? No? Because if I hear anything else that sounds like a complaint out of you, you'll be escorting rotten trash to the garbage moon. You start to see sort of some of the zealot nature of some of these troopers. You know, what's best for the First Order, you know? If it serves the First Order, nothing is beneath you. And that's just that indoctrination. It's crazy. So a little later, Finn, he's still, God, his sense of humor is hilarious. Only set him on fire a little bit. And he hears a screech. And turn the panel. And then you turn the page. Then you wash your hands. If you get that reference, we can be friends. So he walks into this room. It's really actually trippy. It's a bunch of they look like jellyfish mushrooms. And here are more of these little bat bird creatures with like metal talons. And Finn realizes this isn't an infestation. This is their home. So basically the First Order is just destroying this home. These creatures' home, this natural habitat. And Finn's kind of trying to make friends with one of these creatures, and they kind of look like a cross between like an evil guinea pig with like some weird butterfly nose and a bat with talons. It's kind of a cool creature, honestly. I'd be friends with it. So Finn comes back. Captain, don't talk to him right now. He's pretty angry. Captain, what is it? I don't think this was an infestation down there. I think we disturbed a native species. So maybe we could try and move them rather than blasting them away. You remember what I said about complaining? I'm not complaining. I just report to sanitation. We want to defend something worthless. You can spend some time escorting garbage. And then his buddy, what part of don't talk to him was unclear? So he makes the captain angry, and again, the captain has no interest in this native species. I mean, they're out there for themselves. Then we meet another character here. So we have this garbage escort. You the garbage escort? Yeah. What did you do to land this? I kind of set my captain on fire. That'll do. I'm Maria Lou. I think. Maria Lou, what's your name? FN2187. Well, that really rolls off the tongue. Chuckle, chuckle, chuckle. We all say that. What do I need to do? Do? You don't do anything. No one tries to steal garbage. Hitch that load you brought, sit it on the back, and try not to smell anything for 3 weeks. 3 weeks? You don't have a faster hyperdrive? We're transporting trash. You think anyone cares how fast we move? Which is true. So 3 weeks on this garbage scow. And they finally reach the garbage moon of Mahir. So Finn out here. Can I help? Usually troopers leave this bit to me. I've done nothing for the last 3 weeks. I could do with a project. Okay, sure. Empty some containers. So Finn's trying to work on opening this one container. And Maria Lou comes through with a blaster. What you got there? Who, me? Yeah, unless there's someone else around. It's nothing. Sure, that sounds convincing. No one volunteers to help unload garbage. I'm thinking you got this assignment on purpose. I think you should just walk away. That's not going to happen. This is my ship. So step back and let me have a peek in there. I'll shoot you. And then I'll find out what you're hiding. So she gets into the container. It's just a bunch of these little bat creatures. They're screeching and stuff. Oh, these little guys, you know them? Sure, we've dug up a lot of their planet and dumped them here. I found them a few times. Bring the container. Follow me. They should be okay here. And basically she has this whole little mushroom paradise for these little creatures. And then Finn, again, he shows his humanity because, like, when he was on Jakku and they were originally executing that little village, Finn couldn't fire. He didn't want to kill anybody, and he's starting to show that here. And again, that's why it's in sanitation. But anyway, I killed a lot of them. You're a stormtrooper. What did you think they were going to be doing? A First Order soldier with compassion? That's not a great mix. You could get in a lot of trouble for this. I know. You know what? Don't worry about it. We're not going to say anything. You're not going to say anything? Nah, there's a reason I have such a terrible job. I'm not great at following rules. Honestly, I think a little bit of dun-dun-dun rebellion is good for you. So interesting little exchange here between Maria Lou and Finn. Whatever happened to Maria Lou now? Now I want to know what happened with her. Is she still just transporting garbage out there? Oh man. So that's the end, by the way. It's an interesting little episode, or interesting little few panels here. I like these kind of little stories. They show us a little bit more of these characters' direct character and kind of why they are the way they are, or, reinforcing things that we already know. So I was pretty happy with this one. And I'm looking forward to the next one, although, Phasma, maybe not. She's one of the characters that probably got nerfed the hardest once we got into the movies. Phasma has her own book. She has her own book, man. I mean, they felt that it was important enough to write a book about her. And one of our good friends, Lindsay from Clashing Sabers podcast, one of her favorite books is Phasma. I haven't read it. I'm sorry. Eventually I will. But it's just crazy that, they never gave her much in the movie. And again, a lot of people aren't going to read the books. Most casual fans won't read these follow-up books and these comics and view what you want to view, so you don't really get everything out of the movies. But anyway, this was a cool little reinforcement of Finn. I actually, again, I really enjoyed it. Again, not a huge comic book guy. I mean, I like comic books. I like some of them. Some are interesting. I just went and, because I never finished my Vader Dark Lord of the Sith series. So I actually just bought a ton of those so I can rehash that again. And that was a lot of fun. And even going down here, we have a small comic book store in my town, but they keep all the current comic books coming in. So a big rack, and I can go in and find the new ones. So, I like that. It's like going to a record store or something, like back in the day when Sam Goody's and FYE music stores were a thing, and you go in and rows of CDs and stuff. It's nostalgic for me. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited about seeing what the rest of this series will bring, and hopefully you guys enjoy as we kind of talk about them. I know the Darth will be interested in getting into these comics as well. We've talked about it in the past when they released the information that they'd be coming. So anyway, folks, I think that's about all the yakking I have in me. We are just a shade over a half hour. So power half hour, man. I'm trying to keep to that. But anyway, hopefully you enjoyed the content and weren't too annoyed by me shouting about fireworks every 5 minutes as they fire them off in my neighborhood. But hopefully you guys have a great rest of your week. And as always, may the Force be with you.